I want you to think back to the last time that you felt genuinely, completely relaxed. And I don't mean the kind of relaxed where you're watching something on Netflix while also scrolling your phone and half listening to a playlist. I mean actually relaxed. A time when your jaw unclenched, your shoulders dropped, your brain went quiet, and you weren't managing anything. You were just relaxed, present, easy. When was that? If you had to pause to remember, if that memory is a little fuzzy or a little far away, I want you to notice that, simply as information. Just sit with it for a second because what I'm about to share with you today might be one of the most important things that we've talked about in this whole series. Hey friend, welcome back to Stripped, Drop Your Patterns. I'm Rachel J., your dating coach and host, and I'm very happy to have you here. If you're new, welcome, settle in. You can catch up on earlier episodes at your own pace, but I promise that this one will make sense all on its own. And if you've been with me for a while, I see you, and thank you. I am grateful, so grateful to be a part of your day, and I feel you every single week. Today we're talking about stress, but not the kind that you know that you have. Not the meeting that went sideways, not the deadline that you're running behind on, not the flight that you almost missed. I'm talking about the stress that you've stopped noticing, the kind that has been living in your body for so long that it no longer registers as a problem. It just feels like you. And it isn't specific to dating. Of course, we'll talk about how it shows up in dating, along with examples and a simple practice for managing that stress so you can actually show up to your life and your love life instead of just going through the motions. Okay, let's get into it. Throw out the rules, forget the cliches. This isn't about the perfect profile or the perfect date. It's about real connection. It's time to strip away the masks, shed the stories, and drop those old patterns that no longer serve you. Tired of dating advice that doesn't fit? So are we. Welcome to Stripped, Drop Your Patterns, where conscious dating isn't about following a script. It's about embracing your whole self and attracting the kind of love that sets your soul on fire. I'm Rachel J., the connection coach and your host. Let's get real. There's a concept in psychology called a chaos baseline. It's what happens when someone has adapted so thoroughly to chronic stress and overwork that their nervous system recalibrates around it. The chaos stops feeling like chaos. It just becomes the baseline. It becomes normal. And once something becomes normal, you stop questioning it. You actually stop seeing it at all. Think about it like this. You know when you first walk into a room with a strong smell and you notice it immediately? Like walking into someone's house where there are smelly pets? But stay in that room for 20 minutes and you can't smell it anymore. And they clearly don't smell it anymore. Well, your brain and theirs literally stops registering it because it's decided that it's not a threat. Your nervous system does the exact same thing with chronic stress. It just adapts. And eventually you stop calling it stress. You call it your schedule, your ambition, your lifestyle. Now here's where it gets personal, and I say this with so much love, my friend. This is very likely your life right now. I want to paint you a picture because I think you're going to recognize yourself in it. It's 11 p.m. You've had a full day. Meetings back to back, decisions, emails, clients, maybe a workout squeezed in somewhere, maybe not. The TV is on, probably something that you've seen before or only partly interested in, but nothing that requires your full attention. You've got your phone in your hand, you open the app, whatever app it is, and you start swiping. Not because you feel inspired to, not because you're excited about who might be on there, but because it's the thing that you do at 11 p.m. It's become your nightly routine. You're seeing faces, swiping, occasionally you're reading bios. You're mostly making snap judgments in about half a second, swipe right, swipe left. And if you're being honest, you're not really seeing any of them. You're not present. You're half in the TV, half on the app, half in the leftover mental chatter from your day or worrying about tomorrow, and half falling asleep. Well, okay, that's actually 4 halves, which is double the you. So you can see that's how overextended you are. Anyway, you get the point. You might be matching with people. You might even send a few messages. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this low-grade frustration, this sense of, why isn't this working? It's all the same people, even though you're putting in the time, right? You're trying. Except, and again, I say this with total love, you're not trying. You're going through the motions. You're doing the action without being in the action. And the reason isn't laziness, and it's not that the app is broken, and it's not that there are no good matches out there. The reason is that your nervous system is fried. It has been running in overdrive for so long that it literally doesn't have the bandwidth to process the subtlety of what it's looking for. That's not a character flaw. That's neuroscience. And, surprise, it's what we're talking about today. Here's what's happening behind the scenes, and I want to walk you through this slowly in case you're new to these concepts. Your nervous system has 2 primary states. You've heard of fight or flight. That is the activated state, the one that your body kicks into when it perceives a threat. Your heart rate goes up, your cortisol spikes, blood moves to your muscles, and your brain narrows its focus to what's immediately in front of you. Now, this state is brilliant for emergencies, like a saber-toothed tiger. But it is absolutely not brilliant for your baseline operating system, let alone falling in love. And then there's the other state, rest and digest, sometimes called the parasympathetic response or downregulation. This is the state where your body feels safe, where your heart rate settles, where your brain opens back up and becomes capable of nuance, of reading tone, picking up emotional cues, feeling warmth, experiencing genuine curiosity about another person. It's non-reactive. This is the state where connection is actually possible. Now here's the thing. When you've been running in chronic stress for long enough, when the chaos has become your baseline, your nervous system essentially gets stuck there. It stops naturally cycling back into the rest and digest state because it's been so long since it trusted that safety was available that it stopped looking for it altogether. The threat detection system stays on. Low level, constant, humming. Think of your refrigerator. And this is where it gets really interesting and really relevant for your dating life. When your nervous system is chronically activated, it literally cannot read safety signals from other people. Now let me say that again because it's important. It's literally unable to read safety signals. So a potential partner can be warm, open, emotionally available, and yet your body won't register it. And it's not because you're choosing not to, not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is so busy managing the background noise that it cannot tune into that frequency. But emotional intimacy requires nervous system safety. Full stop. You cannot allow someone in if your system is running threat detection 24/7. And this is why so many high-achieving men, smart, emotionally intelligent, genuinely wanting connection, find themselves going on dates that feel flat, relationships that never quite reach depth, and app conversations that feel like work from the start and, not surprisingly, go nowhere. It's not about your attachment style. It's not about your communication skills. It's not about the right person or the wrong city or the wrong app. It's about the state your nervous system is in when you walk into those situations. This is what I mean by neuroplasticity in the work that I do. Your brain and your nervous system are not fixed. They are plastic. They change based on what they're repeatedly exposed to. If you've been chronically exposing your nervous system to high stress, high output, never fully landing energy, it has literally wired itself around that pattern. The neural pathways that say, I'm safe, it is safe for me to be open, it is safe for me to feel an emotional connection, have gotten less and less traveled. And the ones that say, stay alert, stay moving, don't let your guard down, have gotten wider and more automatic. But here's the good news, and this is the part I really want you to hear. Neuroplasticity works in both directions, right? The brain may have become wired to those limiting beliefs, but it can rewire. The nervous system can learn safety again. And it doesn't take years of therapy or a 10-day silent retreat to get started. It starts with interruption, small, consistent interruptions to that pattern. Think about Chandler Bing. And yes, I know I'm always going back to Friends, but I love that show and you love me for it, so stay with me. Chandler, who is chronically armored, whose baseline is deflection and humor and never letting anyone actually through that defense mechanism. He's high functioning, he's funny, he's lovable, and yet year after year, you watch him blow up relationship after relationship. Not because he doesn't want love, but because his nervous system reads intimacy as a threat. The moment someone gets too close, too real, too available, he short circuits. He deflects, he jokes, he sabotages. He doesn't know what to do when someone loves him well, so he unconsciously sabotages it over and over again. But then there's Monica. And here's what I want you to notice about that, because it's not that Chandler suddenly became a different person when they got together. It's that Monica had already been his safe person for years before romance ever entered the picture. And sure, they still had their bumps and moments when Chandler almost sabotaged what they were building, but their friendship gave his nervous system something it had never had in romantic context: time, consistency, familiarity, and zero threat. By the time love became possible between them, his system had already learned, slowly and without pressure, and without even realizing it, that she was safe. That's not a fairy tale. That is regulation. That is what it looks like when a nervous system finally gets to land. That's the work. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about downregulating. So what does it actually feel like to downregulate? Because I think a lot of people hear calm your nervous system and they imagine something either deeply woo-woo and elusive or impossibly tedious. And I want to demystify it because it's neither. Downregulation is the moment when your body, not your mind, your body, decides that it's okay to unclench. You usually feel it in your breath first. It slows. Your exhale gets longer than your inhale, which is actually a signal that your parasympathetic nervous system sends when it's switching modes. Your shoulders do that thing where they drop about an inch without you consciously choosing it. Maybe you notice your jaw was previously locked and your hands were in fists, and now both have released. The background mental chatter doesn't disappear exactly, but it does get quieter. There's a quality of spaciousness that opens up. You notice you can actually see what's in front of you. Not just look at it, but see it. This is the state you want to be in, generally speaking, and especially when you're dating. When you're on that first date, when you're texting someone you actually like, when you're reading a profile at 11 p.m. Not activated, not numb, present. And I want to invite you to try something this week. Something small. Before you open any dating app or before any situation where you want to actually show up, I want you to spend 3 minutes with a simple reset practice. And here's what it looks like. Sit still with both feet on the floor. Close your eyes if you're able to. Take one slow breath in through your nose and then exhale through your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. Long, slow, deliberate. Do that 3 times. Then just look around the room, not at your phone, but at the room. Name 3 things that you can see, 2 that you can hear, and 1 that you can feel. This is called a sensory anchor, and it is your nervous system's fastest reset button. It works because it pulls your attention into your body and out of the threat detection loop. 3 minutes, that's it. And then you can open the app or show up to the date or send the text and notice if something feels even slightly different. Just notice, no judgment, no story about it. And I want to be clear about something because I don't want you to walk away thinking that this is just a dating problem. The chaos baseline doesn't only show up when you're swiping at 11 p.m. It shows up in your body, in the inflammation that won't resolve, the sleep that's never quite deep enough, the cortisol that spikes every morning before you've even had coffee, even your gut health. It shows up in your work, in decisions made from urgency rather than clarity, in the colleague relationships that stay surface level because nobody has the bandwidth to go deeper. It shows up in your friendships, your family dinners, your ability to actually enjoy the success that you've worked so hard to build. The chaos baseline goes everywhere that your body goes. And, well, your body goes everywhere with you. Dating is just where we're focusing today because it's intimate, it's personal, and you can't performance manage your way through it the way you can a boardroom. The cost of the chaos baseline isn't just fatigue. It's disconnection from your own life. It's showing up to the most important moments running on fumes and wondering why nothing feels the way you thought it would. You have been on quite a journey with me over these past several episodes. You've looked at the patterns, you've felt the cost, you've started to see the shape of what you actually want. That is not nothing. That is everything. That kind of mirror work is the foundation of everything that comes next. The neuroscience is actually hopeful if you let it be. Because what it says is this: you are not stuck, you're patterned. And as you know by now, patterns can change. Your nervous system is not your destiny, it is your starting point. And the path forward isn't about white-knuckling your way into vulnerability or forcing yourself to open up before you feel safe to. It's about creating the conditions for your system to learn over and over again that safety is available, that landing is allowed. You deserve a love that doesn't feel like effort. You deserve to walk into a room or sit down across from someone at dinner and actually be there, fully, openly, you. That's what we're building, and I believe in you. Okay, if this episode hit somewhere real for you, I want to hear about it. Send me a message via email, on Instagram or LinkedIn, or leave a review wherever you're listening. It genuinely helps more people find this work, and it means the world to me. And if you're ready to go deeper, if the idea of actually rewiring these patterns and not just understanding them feels like something that you're ready for, I want you to check out Magnetic. It's the app I built specifically for this work. Short, daily practices done on your own time, designed around neuroplasticity principles, built for men who are results-oriented, pattern-aware, and ready to actually change the outcomes of their dating inputs. You can find it at theconnectioncoachonline.kit.com/magnet list, or DM me the word magnetic with a K, and I'll send you everything you need to know. I'm excited for you. Everything you desire is on the other side of those persistent patterns. Everything. I'm Rachel J, and this is Stripped Drop Your Patterns. Bye for now.